Just a quick check-in. So there's pizza back here. Make sure if you didn't pick up a t-shirt last time, make sure you pick up a t-shirt this time. There's an article back there. Right, just to kick off our meeting here today, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here. You definitely blew in today with the weather. I know that getting here probably was a little bit more challenging. Your gas mileage probably wasn't as good as it normally is, but thank you for being here and braving the wind. We are excited because today is kind of that pivotal point where we're going to start turning to doing small committee work. So we'll still do some activities in the boardroom here. We have one activity, I should say, that we're just going to get you moving and having a little fun with red Solo cups. That's right, I do love red Solo cups. But I did realize that the song that I had picked out, we won't be playing because the lyrics are not appropriate. So I did a little check on that before I actually hit play. I'm glad I did that, but I really didn't. Gavin saved me, so thank you, Gavin. So with that said, right now just table conversations. So there's an article that we were trying to get to there with it just has some good basic information about some early literacy skills. And so just a question to get us kicked off, what literacy strategies did you see in that article? And then can we employ them here in Monticello? So anybody like to share? What early literacy skills did you see and find out that we can do to help children? Some very simple things, whether you're a parent or community member. Sarah?
Oh, thank you so much. I did part about access to books, and it made me think about how the community library no longer has late fees, which I think is really wonderful and can improve access, but I don't know if it's well advertised. And I thought about how can we let people know that they can get into the library easier. Yeah.
So access to books. What else? I'm looking for someone. I love it.
I can share. I always resonate with just the vocabulary piece, and I think about that words are free, that conversation is free. I think a lot about this and little kids spending so much time, and so I think that rallying the community around the importance of talking to children and having children talk back to you is critical, and anyone can do it at any time.
Awesome, thank you. So vocabulary. I'm coming up to one of our daycare providers and one of my bosses, Melissa Curtis here. They put me on the spot last night with my mid-year evaluation, so now I get to see what are some things we can do.
My brain is kind of fried from my day today.
And that's one thing we can do. We can support each other when it's a tough day.
It was an inside day, and there was an obstacle course and lots of screaming and up and down, and it's just in my head.
Well, actually, that's what we can do, though, right? We can play with our kids and make sure that we're using vocabulary while they're playing. Absolutely. Who else? We'll do two more. What else? Erin.
I just know that there's a lot of opportunities for kids in the community to be exposed to literacy at playgrounds and parks. Landscape structures does include, if you choose to build your parks and playgrounds with letters, words, you can do all different themed kind of parks, but that would be a good place that maybe some kids would pick up on some of those letters and words and just putting it at their level. It could be at grocery stores with picture boards with words. You can put letters and pictures with sounds or whatever in really any place, a grocery store, not just at the schools, but it could be at the park, it could be at the community center, and just letters down low at their level, really for not very expensive, and just a little bit of effort and forethought about why are the things to read all up high. So that would be something that would be easy, I think, enough for a group of people like us to do.
It's going to be cool because today, after we do an activity here, we are going to let people go. And like we kind of have some things that we hope to accomplish that are, really spoon fed, but because we want to make sure that we have some way to track the progress of Rally to Read. But when you think about it, and Aaron just reminded me that like really community initiative, it's all about everybody in the collective efficacy in here, and I'm excited to see what groups can do, because my brain just started turning. How easy would that be to be able to go into to Cub Foods and be able to develop a relationship with them and see what we could do there. Think of all the different restaurants where there could be just the subtle things that we could use, teaching tools and strategies right in there. So the sky's going to be the limit, but if we all tackle this together, it's going to be such a fun community to be part of. So one more, I need one more. I said two more, and I'm really good at math. So,
Phonemic awareness. Eric knows my passion for those two words, and it's such an easy concept, and parents don't get it, that you can do it in the dark, right? And just to make parents aware that it's not just letters and not just words, that sounds are huge.
I used to struggle with that, so Cindy always used to remind me that it was the concept that you could do in the dark. I didn't need to see anything, and I was still learning and developing literacy skills. So awesome. Well, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. I've attended a couple sessions, didn't do the last couple because my wife had shoulder replacement surgery. So I'm the old superintendent of schools here, was here for 32 and a half years. Mr. Johnson, Shelley Johnson, some of you probably have heard the name, others, who is that guy? I just thought, talking about reading and the minds of little kids, I'd just share a true story with you. It'll just take a second. It's kind of funny too. I put on a lot of seminars, and I had swing through South Dakota this summer, and I had a couple seminars to put on out there. And the night before we left Monticello to go to South Dakota, we happened to be with two of my great grandkids. The one that I'm going to refer to is a little 4-year-old girl. It just tells all of us the mind of a 4-year-old is a lot more complex and deeper than we think. We're talking there outside of our cars, and I thought that she was just kind of playing around and bored outside between our cars, picking up leaves and looking at them and so on. And her mother asked me, "You're going to South Dakota?" "Yes." I said, "I got to go to South Dakota tomorrow." And this little girl piped up and she said, "What's South Dakota?" And I said, "Well, that's a state." And I said, "Minnesota, is a state. And when you get in school, you'll learn all the states and how to pronounce them and so on." "Oh, okay." And she went about her business again. And the mother said, "Now, what's your seminars about?" So I told what it's about, leading a community through a chaotic event. And so she piped up her little eyes and looked up at me, and she said, what's a seminar?" And I said, "Well, that's talking to adults and so on, and there'll be a lot of people there." "Oh, okay." And she said, "When you come to South Dakota, will people see you driving into your parking lot, to the parking lot and so on?" And her mother was rolling her eyes, wondering, where is this going, what's on her mind here? And I said, "Yeah, it's possible. Some people will see me pull into the parking lot." And she said, "Well, great grandpa, you have to wash your truck before you go to South Dakota," she said. And we all almost fell over, and then she followed it up and she said, "If you come to South Dakota with a clean truck and they see you, they will like you a lot better and they will listen to you." And I thought, boy, now there is a good, smart little girl. So I shared that as just an introduction with the groups that I talked to, and they just couldn't believe it. And afterwards, they all said, "Next time you come to South Dakota, you bring Riley Rose with you." That's her name. "We want to meet that little girl." So anyway, there's more up there and more development that takes place many times than we give kids credit for. And that fits into reading and teaching it and so on. So thank you very much. There.
We need a magic clap for all our participants who gave a great testimony of literacy strategies. So magic clap on 3, one loud clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. I would give anything to have you reach under your chair right now for a free car wash, because it would just be such a great transition, but I can't pull that off, but I'm going to put that in my bag of tricks. So you might want to look. You never know with me. All right, well, in true fashion, we do have an activity today before we go do work, because before you go do work, you got to play. That's part of a developmental strategy, and I'm a big proponent of play. And so I've been doing this activity ever since I was in the district when I greet new teachers, and I realized I was playing the game wrong. And so today we're going to play the game right. There's a different component that I will add to it. So here is what we're going to have you do in your tables. I think it'll work out good. I think, except we will probably try to get about 2 more people over at this one. And so you're going to come up, and everybody is going to have a string that's at your table, and you're going to have 1 rubber band, and you're going to tie both ends of your string to this rubber band, and you're going to create a grappler. A grappler, that's right. And that grappler will be used to be able to work with your partners, everybody at once, holding onto their string, and you end up holding onto the loop like this, because remember, both of your ends are tied to the rubber band. I just tried practicing my teaching. I got into a 4th grade classroom last week, so I got to keep practicing. I didn't do that well in reading, so I'm going to keep working at it. It's really bothering me that I gave myself a D last week when I was teaching reading. So I'm very transparent, and you'll see that. So everyone then is going to have cups, and your object is to move cups to the table, and then you're creating the foundation of literacy is what we're calling this red solo cup activity, and you're going to see who can get the highest. And as soon as everybody has about 20 cups, they have a string for everybody at their table. Everybody's tied their string to the rubber band. Then we'll start manipulating and moving and stretching and pulling and twisting and making sure that we are stacking cups, and the team who gets the highest is the winner. And I do have some prizes, and so some groups are pretty big, so I might have to go get some more prizes. I have about 7 prizes here, so I think that's going to work out pretty good, about 5 to 7 per team here. So once I see everybody in their spot, then I'll have Gavin turn up the music pretty loud. And at the end of the song, make sure you have a song that's about 4 minutes. Then we will see who's got the highest foundation of solo cups. All right, so please have 1 person or 2 people from your team come up and get the materials. So I'll let everybody tie their string to the rubber band. We'll probably get going in about 30 seconds. You can set your cups up any fashion you want, but you do have to move them. You can't set down a full layer of the base. Raise your hand if you need more time setting up. Okay, a little bit more time. Okay. So I'm taking a personal look of every table and just making sure that your base will not be any place where you have your cup set. Okay. This table right here is scaring me. There's a lot of brain power here. No, you guys have to have the steadiest hands in here. Okay, okay. And you're competitive, so you're scaring me too. All right, Gavin, cue up the music. When you hear the music, you may start working together. Build a strong foundation of literacy, and then stack those cups. Go ahead, Gavin, go. Doing good. Don't forget to encourage each other. Oh, we got the first two high cup. First two high cup. We got two. We got two teams that are too high. I want these guys so bad. Man. What is going on here? We got a group that's 3 high. We got 2 groups that are 3 high. How many apples up on top? Little Dr. Seuss for you. How many apples on top, right? This group is intense. Gavin, are you taking pictures? Hey. Steady as she goes. Steady as she goes. This is big. This is pivotal. That song is getting close. Now, the question is. Wow, I like it. I like it. We got 2 groups that are 4 high. We got one group that is. Got one group that is 5 high. And we got a group that's having a lot of fun. Look at this precision. Eye of the tiger right here. Look at the precision. My gosh, you guys. Look at that team. Oh, no! No! I called Vegas. I called Vegas. All right, freeze. Oh, no! Freeze. They're not freezing. We're frozen. And we called it. We called it. Oh my, that is awesome. So much excitement in here. Well, I think we have our winner. We have the upside down carrot cake or something here, so love it. You guys can go over and figure out who's getting the coffee mugs and t-shirts over there, okay? Let's give a big round of a hand for the team that got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. 5 high. Remote. All righty, go ahead and we'll put your materials back up here, and then that'll give us just a little transition time, and we'll start here in about 1 more minute. All right, I'm just going to take 4 minutes here so that I can stay on track here to get you in groups by 6:35. But thank you for playing that game, humoring us. I really hope to make this Rally to Read one of those special things that people can't wait to get to. And who knows that we hope that we have a whole gym full of people someday joining us and really trying to do great things for kids. And that's what this community initiative is all about. And so I'm going to go through 5 teams, and then we're going to get people into those teams. And there's a task table facilitator, and they'll work to start figuring out how you're going to do the task on hand, and maybe do some brainstorming. What other things? What are some low-hanging fruit? What are some things that we can do? Don't go too far because you want to do what we're doing and do that well. But it sure is fun to look at each other's capacity to build off of as well. So Community Connections team. This team is going to be led by Marla Scherber. Marla, if you can give it a wave. And Amy Trombley. I was going to be the facilitator, and I realized that I don't have the knowledge that she's going to have for the Imagination Library portion. And Marla has the knowledge of the Books for Baby. So this, if just a snap overview, but this one is going to take a community initiative that's been going on and doing really well, and we're going to improve upon that, build on that, and then we're also going to figure out how to get children signed up each year for Imagination Library, which gives every child a book a month. And Rotary came forward to say that this is going to be their project, and so we have some Rotarians here in the house, and so that would be a good table for you, Tony, to be at. Okay, and then the next. So, any questions on this one? Because you get to self-select here too. We hope to have people spread out a little bit, but we do have some self-selection. Questions there. Education and awareness team. This is really, there's going to be some people here that are like naturally fit this. So like I'm thinking of, Aaron, and I'm thinking of Melissa, and I'm thinking of Eastview. And then, so the education awareness team is really developing a cohort in town, a cohort of our early childhood specialists and to create a cohort to make sure that we have a foundation of things that we are doing. I think everyone's doing a great job in their homes or at centers or at Eastview. But how do we know that we're giving everybody, a foundation of some similarities? And that's really what the job of the cohort is. And then also just hosting some things in the community. We do that at schools, but we want to try do it differently, try get different partners there. Cargill wants to be there. There's companies that want to be there. There's companies that want us to come in. And so instead of just, always inviting people into the schools, how can we get into people's lunch and learns and other ways to teach people and be there to support them? And not teaching and just talking at them, but teaching to do things like Red Solo Cup activities and have fun to learn together. So this is Education Awareness Team. It's going to be about cohort planning and event planning. And then Every Kid, Every Day team. Jen Johnson, can you raise your hand? And so I'll give so Jen is the facilitator of the Education Awareness team. And I'll probably have her stay right here at this table. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to move the group that Marla and Amy are going to be at. I'm going to have you go to the activity room. So we can spread out so it's easier to talk and things like that. So I have some tables spread out. So we'll have at least 1 or 2 groups in there. Jen can stay here for the Education Awareness team. And then the third one is the Every Kid, Every Day team. And this is just to really expand some of the things that we're doing in the elementary. So think of the tutoring that we're doing at the elementaries. How can we offer some opportunities in small group literacy work across the community? There's some programs that are going. How can we market those differently and make sure that they're a big part of what everybody knows in the community? Establish some intergenerational opportunities. There's so many beautiful places in this community. How do we go do some different types of play, some different type of developmental strategies to engage people and have fun together. And then this one also has the Sponsor a Child program, which we're going to really gear the money towards, a lot of the money towards that first one because we want to get books in the hands of kids I think we heard Sarah kick this off earlier when she talked about, the access to books, and that's what that Imagination Library will do. But this one will also, we hope to be able to start expanding and look for sponsorships to grow how many children could have access to preschool or a center that is doing great things for kids. So sponsoring a child is going to be part of this one as well. And then the Culture Impact team is the team that's kind of going to be watching what's going on in the other committees. And they're going to be making sure that we're getting into neighborhoods that have students and families that move into the neighborhood. So it's not about just having everybody be born here. It's also about taking care of people who move and are part of homes. So it's finding those students, finding those families. How can we make sure that we're connecting with every family so that when a 4-year-old, if they lived in Monticello from 0 to 4, we know that they've had a very similar experience no matter where they are, whether they're in a home, whether they have families that are taking care of them with their means, or if they're going to an outside source. So Culture Impact team is just watching everything, but I did talk with Sandra, if you could raise your hand. She's going to lead that one tonight, and I did give her the Community Connections one as the one to focus on first, and so that we know that we're going to make sure that every kid is getting signed up, and how are we doing that? So that's just the first thing they're going to do. They're going to watch everybody and start to grow the things that we're doing across each task force. And I don't know do I have anybody here from the high school library? A couple people were going to come, and I don't see them right now. But we have the high school library initiative that was a spin-off of this. And so I do have, we have plenty of tables if they wanted to do some work. But they've been a committee that's been meeting, and they are working to generate funds and to grow our high school library book collection. Okay. And then, so there's the. Actually, I was ahead of we did plan where you would go, but, so I do have that on here. Task force planning. Community connections team, that one was the activity room, so I think I was right. Education and awareness, boardroom. Every kid, everyday team, Jeremiah, boardroom. Cultural impact team, activity room, so Sandra, your group would be in the activity room. And next to this group, because that's the one you're going to focus on too as well. There was a method to my madness, but I forgot it. All right, and then I don't think we have anybody here from the fifth group. All right, so I would like the facilitator that can kind of guide your discussion, and that way you can either write, or if you have a device, if you're the facilitator, that'll help. You might have to transpose it, take notes, and then put it on your computer later, but here's the community connections team, Marla. Okay, so our table captains know what to do. You kind of know who they are. If you want to move around and find your people, find the committee that you'd like to start serving, let's get to it. Let's have some fun.